Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with a Yosenju deck profile. This is post Rising Rampage, so I'm using a few of the cards that were released in Rising Rampage. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and comment down below, subscribe so you're notified when I'm doing new videos like this. Obviously, but if you're looking at any of my other videos, I cater more towards like budget. And this is no exception. This is a very good budget deck. Still good, still competitive. So yeah, let's get into it. So start with, we're going 3 Yosenju, 1. So there's Yosenju, 1, 2, and 3. They all have the same effect, starting effect, where if you normal summon it, you can immediately after, you can normal summon another Yosenju. And then they all have the same ending effect, where during the end phase, if any of the commas were normal summoned, or actually any of the Yosenju cards have this effect, where if they were normal summoned, then you return them to the hand during the end phase, which is actually, it seems like it might be bad because you won't have any cards on board, but it's very good to kind of clear the board so that you're not destroying your monsters, because you really don't want these in the grave. You want them in the hand. So. And then, 1 specifically has an effect if you control another Yosenju monster. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So obviously that's going to be really good going second. We played 2, 2. Kind of for the name, because if I have two of these, you can't normal summon and then normal summon the other one. It has to be a Yosenju with a different name. So I max out on this one. This one again has the same effect. You normal summon, you can do an additional normal summon of a Yosenju monster, and then during the end phase you return it to the hand if it was normal summoned. But this one's specific effect is it can attack your opponent directly, but when it does so, the damage is halved. So that comes up actually with 3. His specific effect is when another Yosenju monster inflicts battle damage, you can add one Yosenju card from your deck to your hand. So obviously, if you have these two on board, then you can attack directly with him. Then you can search out any Yosenju card, which it's usually going to be a monster, but you can search out the trap as well. I'll show you that. So I max out on these. Because these are all the ones that allow you to normal summon and then get an additional normal summon. So those are very good. I'll put these kind of up here, right there. Next one I max out on is the newest one, Yosenju Izna. This is from Rising Rampage. I think it's I wish they had done secret rare. It's just a common, but this one, it does not have the effect where you normal summon it, so you never want to start with this card. You want to normal summon 3 and then normal summon Izna, but it's got an effect. You can use each effect only once per turn, but if you control another Yosenju monster, you can draw one card, which comes up a lot. And the other one, if it's in your hand, you can discard this card as if it's like a hand trap. And your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a Yosenju monster is normal or special summoned. So that's usually going to mean when you normal summon him, you're going to get his effect off, so then you can normal summon another, which comes up every now and then through testing, but not too often. But the draw effect I feel is very good. And just having another Yosenju monster that is decent helps a lot too. I wish he had higher attack, but whatever. And then I played 2 of the Yosenju Sujik. So all of these, if they're normal summoned, you return them to the hand during the end phase. But this one's specific effect is going to be during either player's damage step. When a Yosenju monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can discard this card as a hand trap again. And that monster gains 1,000 attack to the end of the turn. And then also, say this is on the field with another Yosenju, you can target one Yosenju on the field and it gains 1,000 attack. It can even target itself. So that comes up to. Obviously not as much, that's why I only played at 2, but so that's it for the Yosenju monsters. That's actually it for the monsters, period. To search out any of those, you definitely want to play Fire Formation Tenki. It also gives all your Beast Warriors 100 attack. You don't need that too much, but obviously 100 isn't bad. But this is gonna, when you activate this, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior type monster from your deck to your hand. So like I said, that searches out any of your Senjus. 3 Pot of Duality, because if you haven't noticed, you're not really going to be special summoning much. Basically, you're going to be normal summoning as many as you can, 2, 3, and then during the end phase, so you're normal summoning all those, and during the end phase, you're just returning them all to the hand. So then you can do the same thing next turn. So Pot of Duality is just a great way to get cards that you need, because you're not special summoning, so it's basically just a free card. The next card, this one actually came off the ban list, and it helps this deck out a lot. Back in the day when I first picked up this deck, I think we had Dark Hole at, it was either 1 or 2, but I remember just always wanting to see it, especially when I was going up against like Necros or someone like that, some deck like that was obviously way better than Yosenju, but if I had seen this card, more, like at 3, I would have won a lot more games. But yeah, Dark Hole, because like I said, your board's going to be clear most of the time, or you want it clear most of the time of monsters. So activating this is just hopefully destroying just all your opponent's monsters and not really affecting you at all. So Dark Hole is extremely good in this. Obviously going second, it's amazing. And then the last card is going to be Dimensional Fissure. So in addition to not really wanting your monsters to stay on the field, you also don't really want them in the graveyard, so you're not going to be like linking them away or anything. So activating, Dimensional Fissure doesn't really harm you at all, and it obviously is going to harm just about everyone else. So that's it for the spells, not too many. It's mostly going to be trap heavy deck, and one of the best trap cards for this deck is going to be Goes and Match. It's just a floodgate. Like I said, this deck wants to go first, set some traps, stop your opponent a little bit, so they're not doing anything too crazy, and then you want to normal summon your Senjus, do some of their effects, search out some cards, and then go on to the next turn. So floodgates are really going to help this deck out, and Goes and Match is extremely good, especially with links, because most of the time your opponent is going to want to be going into their plays and going into some link monsters, but they're almost always going to be a different attribute than the monsters they control, so that does help a lot. Another one that's amazing is Torrential Tribute. Again, you're hoping to not have any monsters left on the field after your turn, so your field's going to be empty, so you can pretty much just wipe out their board with Torrential Tribute. And then the last one, kind of like that I play is just 2 lose 1 turn. You can play it at 3 because again it's very good. But you activate this card if you control no special summon monsters, which you hope not to. And then while a monster is face up on the field, negate its effects during the turn that monster is special summoned. And then if an effect monster is special summoned in attack position, you change it to defense position. So it's basically just negating the effects of any special summon monster that your opponent puts on the board. So that's it for those kind of cards. Let me just move these up a little bit. Kind of the really good trap cards. And another one that came off the ban list, Solemn Judgment. I played that one at 3. I played, of course, Solemn Strike at 3, and then 1 warning. It seems like a lot of life points, but you're hopefully not going to last, too many turns. And honestly, Solemn Judgment at 3, because you're paying half your life points, so you're not paying a set amount of life points, so you can never go down to 0 with Solemn Judgment. So I feel at 3 it's amazing, negates anything and everything, and just control heavy decks, it's necessary, definitely necessary. And then I play one Macrocosmos, same kind of thing as Dimensional Fissure. Any card sent to the graveyard is removed from play. So like that's detrimental to a lot of decks. The last two traps are two new ones again. Play two of the Yosenju Sword Sting. I'm not crazy about it at 3. I'll probably be switching back and forth, between 2 and 3, because it is a really good card still. But if you control no monsters, you reveal up to 2 Yosenju monsters with different names in your hand, and you target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls and return them to the hand. So obviously just having 2 different Yosenju names in your hand, activate this, and you're returning 2 cards to the hand, which is very good. It's searchable off of -3. If you deal some battle damage, you can search that out if you so desire. So it's a very good card. That's the main reason I don't play it at 3, is because it is searchable still. And most of the time I'm wanting to see my other traps over this one. I'd rather set 3, have 2 Yosenju in hand, and have, like a Solemn Judgment, a Gozen Match, and a Torrential Tribute. I'd rather see that than one of these, but obviously it's got its moments to use it. So that's it for the main deck. Extra deck, you're not going to be going into it too often. The most important one you're probably going to be going into is Gaga Cowboy. We used to play this at 2 before Lynx came out, because basically if you have 4 Yosenjus in hand, you normal summon them all, attack with all those, make, a cowboy with 2 of them, and then another cowboy, you're most likely it's going to be game. But now we just play 1, just as kind of like a gimmicky little rank 4. Daigusto Emerald is very good, because as you see it is wind. So even under Gozen Match, you can make this, and if you happen to have a bunch of Yosenjus in the grave, or obviously just 3 of them, you can draw a card. So it comes up late game sometimes. Castel, another wind, that's just very good. Lightning Chidori, again another wind. You play wind monsters, so you can make it, so play it. Kind of a newer card. Number 60, Dugaris, he's just more draw power, or if you need to special summon from your grave, which shouldn't come up very often, but mostly for the draw power. And then Abyss Dweller, just a really good rank 4. Exton Knight, again another one you can just blow up your opponent's board. Tornado Dragon for spell or trap heavy decks. Silent Honor Arc, just a good one to just steal opponents' monsters. And Utopia the Lightning. You can play Utopia double. You might even consider it, because it's very easy to make with this deck. So that's a definite option. And then for the links, I got 1 Great Fly, because it's your wind link, and then just some general destruction ones. We got Nightmare Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Those don't really matter much. Really, none of these matter. You're mostly wanting to just stun your opponent with your traps, and then just kill them with your Yosenju monsters. The side deck, Gamma and Driver, even going first, really, because you're not really going to have any monsters on the board. Having this in hand to just disrupt your opponent again comes up and is amazing. That's a great card. We also, this is mostly going first, so most of the side deck here is going second, to switch out some of your traps and whatnot. So we play 3 Effect Veiler, and then 3 Draw and Lock. Draw and Lock is mostly for the Pendulum matchup. It's just killer against them. And then the last cards I play are 2 Kaiju Slumber and just 3 Kaijus. You can always up the count. You can play 3 Kaiju Slumber and 4 or 5 Kaijus. Because a cool kind of play you can do is if you have -1, any other Yosenju, so -2 we'll say, and then a kaiju, basically you're going to be, tributing off one of your opponent's monsters. So that's on their board, and then you're going to normal and normal. And then you can use -1's effect to return this to the hand, and it obviously goes back to your hand because it's your card. And then you can kaiju again if you want. But yeah, so that's a cool little play that you can do with the kaijus. I've even thought of maining these because they aren't very good again. Your board wipe again, so like some more dark hole. But my particular build again is just more stun and just negate all the stuff your opponent has, and then just keep attacking them, clearing your board, and then attack. So yeah, especially like with your monsters, your opponent's not really going to be breaking a board per se. They'll just have to deal with your back row. But hopefully when they're trying to really break your board, you have something like a Solemn Judgment to just negate whatever they're trying to do. But yeah, that's the Yosenju deck. Hope you guys liked it. Again, subscribe, because I'm going to be posting a lot of like budget, still competitive, like I said, just super fun decks. So subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know down below what kind of decks you're interested in and want to see, and catch you on the next one.